Good morning, dear students. Today I will discuss about practical problems on union and intersection of sets. First, let us start with a theorem. Let A and B be two non-empty finite sets. Then N A union B, N means number of elements in the set A union B, is equal to Na plus Nb minus N A intersection B. Number of elements in A union B is equal to Na, number of elements in A, plus number of elements in B minus number of elements in A intersection B. The proof is very simple. You can prove it by observing only. If you observe carefully, you can easily prove this theorem. Now, if A and B are disjoint sets, disjoint set means they have nothing in common, then A intersection B equal to phi, and number of elements in A intersection B, as phi has no element, number of elements in A intersection B will be 0. And in that case, this theorem will reduce to this: N A union B, number of elements in A union B equal to Na plus Nb, number of elements in A plus number of elements in. Last day I discussed this set, this part represents A minus B, this set represents B minus A, and this is the common part is A intersection B. This part is A minus B, this part is B minus A, and this part is A intersection B, and this I have already discussed in the last class. Now, from this also we will get another theorem which is like this. This set Na minus B, let us mark the set Na minus B. This is the set Na minus B. Na minus B equal to this part, shaded part, Na minus B equal to whole set A minus A intersection B. Number of elements in A minus B equal to Na minus Na intersection B. This is the A minus B part, the shaded part is A minus B part. From the shaded part, this shaded part is equal to the whole set A minus A intersection B. Similarly, and B minus this part, B minus A, this part is equal to, we can mark B minus A also, this is B minus A. This is B minus A, and B minus A equal to the set B minus A intersection B. B minus A equal to NB minus N A intersection B. And sum of these three sets, A minus B, this part, B minus A, this part, and A intersection, sum of these three is equal to A union B. I have written here, and A minus B equal to Na minus B plus Na intersection B plus Nb minus A equal to Na union. Now, let us again move to this theorem, Na minus B. Now, what does A minus B represents? A minus B means the set of elements which are in A but not in B. You can see the set of elements which are in A but not B. A minus B means the elements which are in A but not in B. A but not B. A but not B. We have to remember A minus B means A but not B, and B minus A means B but not A. Okay. What does A union B represents? A union B means the elements which are either in A or in B or in both. In A, in B or in both. Total elements, A union B. A union B means set of elements which are either belong to A or in B or in both the sets. Next, let us move to this theorem. This is the extension of the First theorem. Now this is for three sets. If A, B, C are finite sets, then number of elements in A union B union C is equal to number of elements in A plus number of elements in B plus number of elements in C minus n A intersection B minus n B intersection C minus n C intersection A plus n A intersection B intersection C. This is for three sets A, B and C, and previous one was for the sets A and B. Let us start with an example. This is from NCERT book. If x and y are two sets such that nx, number of elements in x is 17, number of elements in y is 23, and number of elements in x union y is 38. Find nx intersection y. 17, 23, 30. We know we have n number of elements in x union y equal to nx plus ny minus n x intersection y. This is the theorem we got here. So let us use this one. X union y equal to 38. Let us put the values what is given. 38, 17, 23, and we have to find n in x. We have to find number of elements in x intersection y. From this, I have calculated this simplification. Just after simplification, n x intersection y is equal to 2. Next, let us start with a word problem. Let us start an word problem. In a group of 400 people, 250 can speak Hindi and 200 can speak English. How many people can speak both Hindi and English? This is a question given in NCERT book, and I want to say there is a problem in the language of the question. In a group of 400 people, 250 can speak Hindi, 200 can speak English. How many people can speak both Hindi and English? This is a simple question, but you can see now in a group of 400 people, just I want to explain what is the problem in the language given in the question. In a group of 400 people, 250 can speak Hindi, 200 can speak English. How many people can speak both Hindi and English? Now, if we consider H as the set of people who can speak Hindi, E as the set of people who can speak English, then you can see 250 can speak Hindi. So, number of elements in H. H means set of people who can speak Hindi. NH equal to 250. NE, number of elements in the set E. E means set of people who speak English. NE is 200. And NE union H. Now, here is the problem. What is given in a group of 400 people, but it is not mentioned that all of the 400 people can speak either English or Hindi. To consider, you can say I consider NE union H equal to 400. It implies I have considered 400 as number of people who can speak either English or Hindi or both. But this is not mentioned in the question. This should be mentioned in the question that in a group of 400 people, all can speak either English or Hindi or both, and only in that case we can take E union H equal to 400. But here we have no other way but to consider E union H equal to 400. So what you have to remember, in a group of 400 people does not imply that E union H equal to 400. When we will consider E union H equal to 400, it must be given that in a group of 400 people, 250 can speak Hindi, 200 can speak English, and all the people can speak any one of the two languages or both the languages. Then only we can take E union H equal to 400. E union H equal to 400 implies, I am coming to here, E union H equal to 400 means all the 400 people can speak English or Hindi, but this is not mentioned. Okay, it should be mentioned in the question. Now, to find how many people can speak both, common people who can, number of common people who can speak both Hindi and English. Number of people who can speak both. Matlab, we have to find intersection, E intersection H, both in English and Hindi. Intersection means and, both English and Hindi. So, this is the formula. We know N union H equal to this. N union H equal to 400, and E equal to 200, and H equal to 250, and we have to find this. And you can see an E intersection H equal to 50. That means 50 people can speak both English and Hindi. Next, this is another question from NCERT book. In a committee, 50 people speak French, 20 speak Spanish, 10 speak both Spanish and French. How many speak at least one of these two languages? Okay. In a committee, 50 people can speak French. So what I assumed, F with a set of people who can speak French. 20 people can speak Spanish. Again, I assumed that S with a set of people who can speak Spanish. So given 50 people can speak French, N of F equal to 50, N of S equal to 20, and N F intersection S equal to 10. F intersection S equal to 10. But that means 10 people can speak both the languages. 10 people can speak both in Spanish and Hindi. What we have to find? How many speak at least one of these two languages? So we have to find number of people who can speak either French or Spanish or both. That means we have to find F union S. F union S equal to, this is the formula, F union S equal to N of F plus N of S minus N F intersection S. This is the formula. Just putting the values of NF, NS and this, we get F union S equal to 60. F union S means number of people who can speak either F, French or Spanish or both. F union S means the elements which are either in F or in S or in both. So 60 people can speak at least one of the two languages. Next, coming to next question. In a group of 65 people, 40 like cricket, 10 like both cricket and tennis. How many like tennis? Again, there is a problem in the question. It should be mentioned that in a group of 65 people who like at least one of the two games. Out of the 65 people, 40 like cricket, 10 like both cricket and tennis. How many like tennis? You can see I have written T with the set of people who like tennis, C with the set of people who like cricket. Number of people who like cricket, you can see 40 like cricket. So I have written 40 and C equal to 40. 10 like both cricket and tennis. So I have written and C intersection T. Both C and T. Common 10. They play both cricket and tennis. 10. T union C equal to 65. Here I have no other option but to write T union C equal to 65. In a group of 65 people, what I have assumed that all of them like either cricket or tennis or both. But it should be mentioned in the question. If it is not mentioned, you cannot start with this. In some questions in the book it is mentioned, and some questions it is not mentioned. Okay. Now, and T union C equal to 65. They have given there are 65 people in a group, and I have assumed that all of them likes either cricket or tennis, as we have no other way, no other option. I have written the formula, I have put the values, and what I get, NT equal to 35. You see, I've done diagram. T, set of people who like tennis. C, set of people who like cricket. What I calculated here, anti equal to 35. Anti means number of people who like tennis. In this set, there may be some people who like cricket also. They like tennis as well as cricket. This part. So anti number of people. There are two parts in the question. How many like tennis? How many like tennis? Tennis means there may be some people who like cricket also. Number of people who like tennis is equal to 35. 35. What is the second part is the question. How many like tennis only and not cricket? They like, this is the set of people who like tennis, and this is the set of people who like tennis only but not cricket. So from the set T, if we write the common persons, the persons who like tennis and cricket both, if we remove this part, we'll get number of people who like tennis only. Now how to find this part? This is T minus C. T minus C means only T but not C. They like tennis only but not cricket. T minus C. T but not C. T only they only like tennis but not cricket. We know the formula, anti minus C is equal to anti minus anti intersection C. Putting the values, anti 35, T intersection C is equal to 10. I got anti minus C equal to 25. This is the number of people who like tennis only. This part, tennis only, but not cricket. 25. Next. In a survey of 600 students in a school, 150 students were found to be taking tea, 225 taking coffee, 100 were taking both tea and coffee. Find how many students were taking neither tea nor coffee. I am reading again. In a survey of 600 students in a school, 150 students were found to be taking tea, 225 taking coffee, 100 were taking both tea and coffee. Find how many students were taking neither tea nor coffee. Now you can see clearly. In a survey of 600 students, in the other two problems, what I have assumed, 150 were found to be taking tea, 225 taking coffee, and I have assumed T union C equal to 600. But here you cannot assume T union C equal to 600. What they have given, 150 students are found to be taking tea, so and T equal to 150. 225, let's say I have written T, set of people taking tea, C, set of people taking coffee, and T is equal to 150. Number of people taking coffee is 225, so I'll see 225, and 100 were taking both tea and coffee, so and C intersection T, both C and T, common people, 100. So if we consider and C union in a survey of 600 students, like other two problems, if we consider C union T equal to 600, then we have all the data, and T and C, C union T, and C intersection T. So we have all the data. Now what we have to find here? First we have to find, you can see T union C. T union C means the number of people who like tea or coffee or both. Number of people who like tea, coffee or both. Just calculating, just after writing the formula and after calculation, we got N T union C equal to 275. What does it represent? In a school, there are 600 students and 275 likes either tea or coffee or both. That means the remaining students, 600 minus this, the remaining students, 600 remaining students do not take tea or coffee. But like other problem, like other two problem, if we start with and C union T equal to 600, our answer will not be correct. So be careful, be careful. The questions in first two questions, the language was not correct. But here, in a survey of 600 students, they have not mentioned whether 600 students take tea or coffee or both. So we cannot take C union T equal to 600. In other two problems also, they should have mentioned that all of them takes tea or coffee, speak Spanish or English, like cricket or tennis. They should have mentioned, and only in that case we can take C union T, A union B equal to given number. So in a survey of 600 students does not mean that A union B or C union T equal to 600. Be careful. Read the question carefully, try to understand the language. What does the question represent? What does it want to say? Read carefully. Okay.